Hello there. Welcome to day 15. Now for the topic today, I wanted to bring up a quote, maybe talk a little bit about it. I've been reading a lot of books that are based around Stoicism. Now, Stoicism, as I just read, is a little bit misunderstood today. It's thought of as just moving through things with indifference, which is an aspect of it for sure. But it's definitely so much more than that. It's essentially a way of life. It's a way of knowing that there are only some things that you can control, like 90+% of everything else you cannot control, and not fretting about those things that you can't control. I mean, it's the main point, I would say, of Stoicism, and it's been worded in so many other ways, and probably so much more elegantly. But this one book that I've been reading, The Daily Stoic, this book is actually broken up into weeks, which is pretty neat, because then there's a general theme for the week, and this one was the wake up. Now, what I wanted to read is a brief quote by Marcus Aurelius from his book Meditations, which is really just a conglomeration of his journaling that I'm honestly not sure. He might have titled them Meditations, or at least he's talked about them as his meditations on things as he prepares for the day, and that's kind of the concept of this week's theme, is the wake up, preparing for the day. So there's something at the very end of this quote. It's just a short paragraph that I'll read. The end of it is what really caught my eye and kind of spoke to me. He writes, mind you, this is like 2,000 years ago, maybe a little bit less. I think this is what he says. On those mornings you struggle with getting up, keep this thought in mind. I am awakening to the work of a human being. Why then am I annoyed that I am going to do what I'm made for, the very things for which I was put into this world? Or was I made for this, to snuggle under the covers and keep warm? It's so pleasurable. Were you then made for pleasure? In short, to be coddled or to exert yourself? To exert yourself. That's what I underlined, exert yourself, because that's what really spoke to me. It's like, no, I wasn't made to freaking, which I think was the intention of writing it that way. I mean, also, he was writing these things to himself. He had no intention of lay people like myself reading this 2,000 years almost later. It kind of is written in that way to exact that emotion from himself, most likely. Were you made for pleasure? Or to exert yourself? Were you made to be coddled or to exert yourself? I am awakening to the work of a human being. That's pretty cool. I really like that quote. And I actually read that last night, even though I wasn't supposed to read it. Well, not supposed to, but this morning was the beginning of this week. I get a little curious when the page I can see right next to where I'm writing from the previous night. It's crazy that Marcus Aurelius, this freaking emperor, general, king philosopher he's sometimes referred to as, wrote these things so long ago, and they're still so applicable. And I do love that, and it's crazy to see the insight of someone from such a long time ago. But it makes so much sense, the way that he words that. Were you made to just seek out pleasure all the time? Were you just made to give in to all of the 7 deadly sins? That's another thing I read about in a different book that I've got over here called Ikigai Kaizen. Those are Japanese terms, and basically about finding your purpose and staying that path. Yeah, I don't think that we were made here just to seek out pleasure. I think happiness is maybe a portion of our existence, but undeniably a portion of our existence, but I don't think that that's the main thing that we're meant to seek. Yeah, I'd be curious to hear what you think, so go ahead and leave something down below if you have thoughts on that. And yeah, that's it for today. Gonna keep chugging away, see if we can get through this cold and finally get back to normal, and hope this world doesn't fall apart before we can make some positive impact. I'll see you tomorrow, day 16. Bye-bye.